As some of you know, drawing a girl for me comes very few and far between. So whenever I actually feel like drawing one, I pounce on the opportunity as quickly as possible. The last time I drew a girl was back in March, and that was when I decided to do a pinup girl, which I still think I should do one of these days, another pinup girl, because I had a lot of fun drawing her that time. But I got the urge to draw one today, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. I didn't have a plan as for which girl I was going to draw this week, but all I know is that I wanted her to be super cute, pink, feminine, like all out, straight up girly girl. That was like what I was feeling 100%. I like to think that whenever I am drawing a girl, it's very like freeing for me. Does that make any sense? So I myself I'm a very masculine woman, right? In many different sense, but I can get very girly too. So sometimes when I do have the urge to draw something like this, I find it almost cathartic that I could put that sense of self into a drawing, you get me? Sometimes I don't always get to project that I am a very girly girl or whatever, but, well, I mean, to be fair, it's majority of the time that I'm not a very girly girl, so that's why. But that part is definitely in me, and that's why I really like drawing hyper feminine women. I think that that's just like a nice little thing that I get to have for myself, you know? Now, when I was beginning to sketch her out, right, at first I was like, man, I don't know how to come about this because I had so many different designs in my head, but ultimately I went for a girl who was heavier set, especially because I feel like I don't draw enough heavier set people in general, so I was like, you know what, this is a good opportunity to sit down and try and learn how fat curves, right, because it's important to learn anatomically, damn, that word is so hard to say, anatomically how to draw them, but also some nice representation in art can never hurt anyone, honestly. For the line art, I decided to use this nice pink color because I really wanted it to look super soft, and I definitely feel like that helped achieve that look, plus it's really fucking cute how she looks in both poses, and I would die for this woman. Now, for those who are just tuning in to anything that I've ever drawn, I love using pink at any given opportunity in my existence. I don't know what it is, I just love the fucking color. So, as a result, this whole drawing is basically mostly pink, and I couldn't have been happier as I was coloring her, because I was like, yes, I get to use the color that I absolutely love the most. So, I really wanted to use it in as many areas as I could, so not only the outfit, but the makeup and accessories, I was like pink everywhere. We're just straight up doing a highlighter, bright ass pink, and I honestly did not mind it at all. I don't think the camera even captured it correctly from how bright the pink was that I ended up using, because it really is a very strong color. It almost looks like a highlighter pink, to be completely honest, so yeah. Also, like I said earlier, using a different colored line art will definitely change how the piece looks. So because I used a pink line art, as a result, the majority of the drawing will look much softer, because if I used a black outline, it's much more harsh, not necessarily in a bad way, it's just much more blatant that it's there. But if I'm using a color like this pink line art up against colors that are light as well, the entire drawing will have a much softer, light, and overall easygoing look to it, which I think definitely came across when you see the final part of the drawing, and even now, I'm not gonna lie, looking at it right now as I'm, talking over it, I could see that there's a difference between this versus a different kind of line art that I did with black line art. I also suggest that if you ever want to try that, to go ahead and do it. And if you don't want to try it with like a piece that you like took a long time sketching and you want to come out perfect, that's totally fine too. What you should do, if anything, is maybe make a doodle or a sketch real quick and then test out your different colored line art with that and then color over it, because I feel like even though I'm talking about it and you get to see what's on the screen right now and how it looks, unless you experience it yourself with your art style and all that stuff, it won't seem as potent of a suggestion as it would if you were to do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the best way to see the end result for something is if you go ahead and try it yourself, especially when it's something very hands-on like this, where you get to do your own art style and then create your own way of doing things. So I highly suggest that if you like the idea of having a softer art look, try it out for yourself, even if it's just on a doodle, so you could like get an idea of how your style would look in it. It's always good to try different things. I know I love usually using black line art, but if I want to try something different, it's always an option for me. So yeah, I suggest everyone broadens their horizons when it comes to that. So, okay, the poses that I did, right, I really like both of them. This pose right here on the screen right now, it did take a lot more trial and error. For two reasons. Number one, I don't usually draw people squatting. I've done maybe like 4 or 5 squat poses in my entirety of art, right? So there's that right out the window. Number two, we have just the sole factor that she is chubby, right? Or fat. I like the word fat. A lot of people don't like it. It's all just a descriptive term for me. So yeah, so even though, you know, she's bigger, when you as a big person, especially me, because I'm a larger person too, so I know this firsthand, right? Just right on the top of my hand. When you bend down, you are going to squish down, right? So I had to make sure that when I was doing her in this pose, things do bunch up, right? Because she does have the rolls in the stomach and all that stuff. So whenever I was drawing the pose, I was like, okay, I have to make sure all this is included. Because drawing someone who's heavier set versus someone who's muscular versus someone who's skinny and everything all in between, they all have their different nuances when you're doing these poses. That's why studying anatomy is so important when you're drawing art, because if you want to convey a certain body type, then the only way to do that is practice and look at the different body forms and all that stuff. So when I did draw this pose, I was like, okay, she definitely needs the rolls to be squished by the stomach. Then we also have like where her chest is, it would be kind of smushed upwards too because of how the fat is sitting under. And then the legs, you know, would be smushed. Everything is very compressed. That's like the best way I could put it. And I think I really like this pose and how it came out. Originally I was like, this kind of looks like butt, but I think that what it was is that I wasn't used to it, especially because, again, I'm not used to drawing these poses, but as a result, I really do like the way it came out. The hardest part about this entire pose, though, for real, was the foot. It was like, how do I draw this under, because it's at a weird angle, and I don't know how exactly we're going to do this, but I think overall, after looking at a good amount of different references, I was like, okay, I think this is the best way that I could do this foot. And of course the other one wouldn't show because of the way she's squatting, so it just would be back there. It kind of looks weird though because it's the only one foot out there, but it makes sense that it's going to be like that. So yeah, I did want to add something to these pages because it was so empty. I was like, okay, we got to do something. So I took out my washi stickers and I picked the ones that I thought matched her color palette the best out of them, and I decided to place them where I thought they would just look good, honestly. And for some reason, lining up washi stickers on paper is really difficult. I don't know what it is, but they're definitely not going to go anywhere. They're not going to fall out. They stuck pretty well. In fact, they ripped the paper every time I tried bringing them back up. So yeah. Afterwards, I added some hearts around her because it fit the theme of her outfit and the way she was. And overall, I really love how this piece turned out. I might go ahead and make her a permanent character in the universe just because she looks so cute. So yeah, thanks for watching, and remember I love you. Bye!